Okay, we're gonna have a young lady here reveal that she's not attracted to men that can't protect her, right? So I guess this would be like the Caucasian version of I want a man that don't play about me. Here we
I
go.
don't think I could respect somebody who couldn't physically protect me, especially with me being so physical, so active. I can protect myself. Even though, okay, I could protect myself up to a certain point. If you can't provide that, I don't even see myself being attracted to you.
Okay. Anyways, let's look at the comment section for this one. The guy asks, "Oh, so this is her profile page. Let's actually bring up her profile page first before we look at the comments." So this is I don't know what she is, but I guess she does professional um oh, she's some kind of a fighter or something. But she can't I'm looking at her, she cannot be more than 5 feet tall. like like she cannot be no more than five, no, definitely not more than 5'3". What is it with these 5'2" bitches that do a little bit of fighting and I'm talking about they do like one little fighting class and they really start smelling themselves, if you know what I mean. They just really think they're all that in the bag of chips. But anywho, let's look at the comment section. Somebody says, "Women, do you agree it's the inability for a man to provide physical protection a turnoff?" Guy here says, "Kind of woman whose mouth gets her men into fights. More red flags than a CCP parade." That's like big facts. I always try to warn men, particularly men of a physical stature. I would try to tell them, like, please beware if you have a lady with a mouth, because she has you around, whether you're her friend or you're her boyfriend or just a male figure in her life. She thinks just because you have that in your stature that she can just use you just to prove a point. And she'll put you in a messed up situation. I'll talk about really put you in a messed up situation where you could get hurt. I'm talking about seriously hurt, even fatal. Like Bobby Glanton Smith said, graveyard litter with him. Right? But yeah, a woman like this is a massive, 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 massive red flag. I need a man that's willing to protect me, and even though I can protect myself because I'm already physically, bitch, stop, please. So right here, somebody says, "Been with my wife for 10 years. Not once have I had to fight to protect her. What are you doing that you are going to need so much protection?" Well, that's something that a lot of these ladies need to answer that for themselves, in terms of, like, what are you doing in life where you're talking about, I need a man that needs to protect me and all this stuff. You're just like, bitch, we live in America. Bitch, you live, and a lot of these bitches be living in the suburbs their whole life. I don't know what they talking about protection. You know what I mean? But yeah, they say it's natural, I guess, for, obviously male women looking for bigger, stronger, faster, right? But especially nowadays, there's really no need for it. But that's just me. And then on top of that, really, for her to say what she's saying now, it's just her way of saying, I want a guy that's way bigger than me. That's just because she can't say, I want a guy that's 6 feet tall. So instead of saying, I want a guy that's 6 feet tall, so she'll say stuff like, I want a guy that can protect me and do this and blah blah blah. Instead of just saying the actual physical traits that she wants, so she doesn't seem like a shallow bish, right? Somebody said it's weird how she's flexing her red flags like it's something to be proud of. Somebody said, I've seen Mike Tyson knocked out. I've seen John Jones taken to the absolute limit. I've seen Brock Lesnar manhandled in the cage. What is the sufficient level? Exactly. That's the thing. Particularly with ladies that will say things like this and really mean that. and they don't understand how the real world works. As a woman, if you have a man, it's your job to make sure you're not putting yourself in position to where a man has to risk his life to protect you. That's your job as a woman. But I'll say this: there's a lot of women that don't really get it until, like, the women that do get it and that are responsible. Those are the women that, yeah, they have a responsible family. But I'll say a lot of the times where you'll see certain women, they will try to make sure they're on their P's and Q's, like the truly enlightened women, because they do have a male in their family that is a complete wild card. I'm not saying he's a pistol waving type dude, but I will say this: there's a lot of women that know what I'm talking about. There's at least one male in your family, that is a certified crash out. I'm not talking about them gangbangers that you be setting off. I'm talking about there's a guy that might be quiet. I'm talking about he's quiet, but he ain't no telling what he do. So they will actually behave because he's embarrassingly crash out if pushed to the edge. So girls that have that kind of male in their family, they will actually try to toe the line and make sure they do things the proper way. And then you'll have women that have actually been raised by responsible women, meaning a responsible woman that have raised her to be like, look, your job is to make sure you don't put yourself in a position where your dad has to come and help you, or sorry, rescue you, or your brother having to put their necks on the line to rescue you. So I always say this: the best type of women are the ones with brothers that not that aren't, I will say, that aren't crash outs, meaning they have brothers but they're not tough guys, meaning they're just regular dudes just trying to live their lives. Those are usually this because they see how everybody's treated normally, everybody's treated regularly. They want to see their brothers alive. They want to see their sister alive. It's a mutual respect. So those are usually the type of women that will be respectful, and they understand a man's life is not just something as, oh, you need to protect me. Oh, I can't respect you if you don't protect me. No, no, no. Right? Somebody said, from what? We don't live in the Stone Age anymore. Exactly. So when you hear women say stuff like that, you'd be like, what situation are you talking about when you're talking about you need protection? But like I said, women like that, they usually get themselves, they be at the clubs, they be at certain night spots where they put themselves in certain situations with perverts and predators and scumbags. They tend to be where they dwell. So yes, in that case, they do need protection, but they kind of put themselves in that, in that position. Somebody said, yeah, 32 years with my wife, never once. Who are these kind of women? Well, like I said, women like this, women like this is dangerous, dog. These be the ones that they be yelling at they think they can be all up in the man's face, and then what makes it worse for her, she does MMA fighting, she does jujitsu, so she probably regularly practices these fighting moves on men. So she probably thinks that she's doing something. You know what I mean? So, hey, good luck to the man that has to take care of this one. Good luck.